Good evening, everybody. We are live in Macomb. This is the Detroit Lions Lone Wolves podcast. I am the Doc, John Macaroon. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday. It's my favorite day of the week. It's 7 o'clock, so always get a chance to talk Detroit Lions football with you. Going to be a fun show today. Just a recap. Spent the day watching a lot of the broadcast. Radio Row is always intriguing to me. Like seeing all the stars go on Radio Row, see them do the interviews. But the Lions had a strong contingency with David Montgomery, a couple days talking to media, Amon-Ra St. Penei Sewell, Aidan Hutchinson. 4 key Detroit Lions doing their thing. Now, we got to joke around a little bit here. So this is funny. In that, Amon-Ra St. one of the highest paid wide receivers, is not only repping one company, he's out there repping 2 companies. And I'm not, listen, we joke around here, but Bounty has our friends at the Lions looking a little funny in their green cardigans. I don't think Bounty could have paid me enough to rock this attire. And I just want to get your guys' early sense of this. The Detroit Lions are at the Super Bowl on Radio Row. 4 key Detroit Lions. We're going to talk about David Montgomery, his comments. I think with each passing interview, getting a sense that maybe David Montgomery's coming back. Good news. But we got to joke around here. Bounty has our friends at the Lions looking a little funny here. And it's a little bit interesting when I pull this up. It's unique, to say the least, to see our guys, courtesy of Crunch Time Sports. Look at this. They got Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra in these green. And listen, I love green. But they got to be like, we got to do all our interview cycle in this? And you look at it and you say, can I get a hat? Can I get a pin? Can I just say Bounty? No, we're going to put a Bounty roll, and you got to wear these green cardigans. At least for Amon-Ra to rep Little Caesars, all he had to do was show up with a pizza box. So Amon-Ra is not only, most of the time, you don't see people repping 2 companies. Amon-Ra wants all the dollars. He wants all the representation. You got to love it. He's like, I'm not going to, most people, guys, show up on Radio Row one day with their company or what they're shilling for or what they're repping. They do their business and they keep it moving. What do you guys think of this? Green cardigans, Bounty. But this is an interesting comments that he made, so we'll share them too. He was talking courtesy of Crunch Time. They're on, I believe, an interview with NBC, and they're talking about Jameson Williams. He didn't typically say, JMO, but he kind of gave the same line talking about Jameson Williams, and it's a good interview. They're on with Fantasy Football Guys. This guy's a foreign fantasy football expert. This is Matt Berry. You all know him if you're a fantasy football player. We'll check in with the comments, but it's very funny to me to see them in this cardigan. So we'll play it here real fast. It's funny to me to see this. This is Amon-Ra St. asked about JMO and what his comments.
I mean, JMO is JMO. We all know what he is. People ask me all the time, what are you going to see from JMO this year? What do you expect from him? JMO is JMO. He's here. He's arrived. You guys have seen what he can do. He's a superstar in this league. He's one of our, I tell everyone we're wide receiver 1A and 1B. There's not no 1 or no 2. And so, I couldn't do what I do without him. And so, we're lucky to have a guy like him on our team. He's a beast. He's a superstar. He's explosive. He's everything that we need in Detroit. And so JMO's JMO, man. We all know what he can do. I mean, JMO's JMO.
Do you like seeing Lions at the Super Bowl? It's cool. You get a little glimpse of their personalities. You get a great opportunity to see the Detroit Lions talking about their teammates. And for those at the Pro Bowl, they talked to the Free Press, the newspaper, about, clearly a lot of it's going to be a lot of positivity saying, oh, the Lions are going to be back on track. Oh, Sam Laporta is going to thrive with Drew Petzing. A lot of positivity. You're not going to see anybody go, well, I'm a little concerned about the Lions. It's a lot of positivity. Do you guys like hearing from the Detroit Lions on Radio Row? Roll call. Where's everybody listening in? Early 200 people. The free way to support the Lone Wolves podcast is to hit the like button, become a member, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know that 7 o'clock hits, boom, or you know that the announcement's made, the new show's popping. We're trying to go as many days in a row. It's Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. 7 o'clock hour is made for the Doc and the Lone Wolves podcast, and I appreciate your early support. We're at 6,000 subscribers, on our way to 7. Drop your comments about anything, and we'll get to them. Roll call. Where's everybody from? Early shout-outs to I'm Salty, D Original, Saki 907, Anakin, as always, doing his thing. I'm Salty. Easy does it. Riley, I always appreciate you. Shout out to you and your drive home. Hopefully your drive home message said that, your time in Utah, hopefully it's fruitful. What do you do? I'm curious. Corey Patterson's always in here doing his thing. Shout out to Reese Cup 99. Riley O'Brien 7. Yes, sir, Doc. I'm out in Utah, so your 7 p.m. start time is 5 p.m. for me, which is when I get off of work. Perfect timing, and it's become a staple of my drive home and post-work listening. Keep up the great work. No, you guys keep up the great work. You guys are great in the comments. Keep the comments coming. It's a show within a show. The comments in the chat are always great. Keep it respectful, but whatever you want to talk about. Jamison Williams always is going to get praise from his teammates. What'd you think of the green cardigans? I mean, I couldn't do it. I'd be like, come on, we're going on like 15 YouTube channels. We're going to be on live YouTube broadcast. We're going to be talking. I wouldn't wear that. I know. And I think there's a little bit more energy too, because the Tigers made a trade. Maybe Brad Holmes will see the energy that was received from the Tigers dropping $38 million. And I'm happy that they lost their arbitration. So they're going to pay, they're going to pay a lot of money for their starting pitching. The sports landscape in Detroit is energized. The Tigers. Now you could say, it's going to be interesting to see if the former Astros pitcher is going to do something for the Tigers. Now, we're going to continue to look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, but I want to, for the next part here, David Montgomery has been talking like, you know what, we're going to get back to the Super Bowl. I'm confident in what I've seen from Drew Petzing that, you know what, I think the first thing that I liked was he said and acknowledged, he's like, no, Jameer's not stealing targets from me. He has a mutual respect for Jahmyr Gibbs. The opportunity for the two to continue to work together is still there, but he wants more, which I'm really still surprised when you look at it and you evaluate what went wrong. Why did the Lions decide to go with that structure of almost 2-to-1 carries and go away from David Montgomery? But to see him at Radio Row, he seemed happy. He seemed very much in line with somebody that was going to come back. So I'm curious if a team makes a decision. But this is the first one he's on with Pro Football Talk, and he's talking about the Lions getting things corrected and going back to the Super Bowl. So I'm very impressed with this level of dialogue. And you see it and you say, okay, you know what? Maybe he's turning the page and willing to come back. These are David Montgomery's comments. And it's real interesting to see somebody talking in this manner. Somebody willing to be in the mix to come back for the Detroit Lions. I'm excited to see. This is David Montgomery from yesterday.
They're knocking at the Super Bowl door. I don't even give a shit that you didn't make the playoffs this year. It's like you're still knocking at it.
For sure.
But what in your estimation was kind of the downfall this year compared to the 2 years before that?
I honestly can't answer that question.
Yeah.
I think that's why, they paid Brad and they paid Kevin Campbell to kind of get the answers to those kind of questions. But, I know this I do know. I know that Coach Campbell and Brad, they work hard. So
Right.
it won't be something that we'll be living in. It'll be corrected, and we'll be right back where we were before this year. And we're trying to go. We're going to Super Bowl.
Yeah. I know you guys are knocking at the Super.
He believes. Do you believe that the relationship with David Montgomery and the Lions can be repaired? Says, hey, the duo with Jahmyr Gibbs is still strong. Jahmyr Gibbs, complimentary. Ha! Doc, if I super chat 100, can I get a question to Brad? Now that's funny. Type the question first, and that's funny. We can't put it like that, but type the question that you want to ask, and we'll talk about it. I appreciate your thoughts, but we can't do it like that, like that. We'll work around it in a different way. I love it. What's your question? That's awesome. Leave your super chats. They go to the front of the line just because you want to support. Listen, it's JSTs. If you want to support help us keep the lights on, I would greatly appreciate it. And also, too, I'm still feeling the Jeremy Fears kicking the nuts. What's going on with my guy? What's going on with our guy? See, I figured it was going to be that. Why the hell isn't Max a Lion? Would you accept a question? Now, if it gets asked by somebody else, does that count as well? But the question would be because you can't really tamper. So the next time we talk to Brad is at the combine. You can't just say, I want to target other guys. There's tampering rules. So the question would be, are you guys potentially in the market for a high-priced defensive end if there's one available? Because there could be one. Would you accept that? Because I could ask that all day. I just can't say Maxx Crosby. I could say, if there's a high-priced defensive end who's really talented, like a Maxx Crosby or others, are you guys in the market to be spenders? I love it. It's JSTs. Drop your super chats, super stickers. Members get access to the emojis. Smash the emojis. It's always fun. Heck, it's JSTs. Super chat for David Montgomery to come back. I think the key to the Lions' success this year is also going to be on offense predicated. Do you guys have more confidence after hearing David and his I'll give you one more on David Montgomery. Does his rhetoric make you believe that he's coming back? It's interesting because you realize the Sonic and Knuckles duo is, I think, if they work it correctly, has a chance to be very successful. And I hope that there's an opportunity to be able to have that come to fruition. This is David Montgomery on, I believe, NFL Network.
Two guys and two really great guys. I think teams in the NFL are starting to realize how important it is to have two guys and two really great guys. And the really good teams have the rarity of having two really good guys. And, Jahmyr.
Darn it, they're airing NFL highlights. Can't run that. So you recognize that, you realize David Montgomery, he was just basically saying on that, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs have 15 career games where they both have had one or more touchdowns together, most by a duo in the Super Bowl era. And so you look at it and you say, this is a duo that if you see how they operate, if you see them together, I feel like is a big key for the offense. But at the same token, I've said in different broadcasts, I'm also willing to entertain. You don't have a third-round pick right now. It's time to have that discussion for a few minutes. if a team offered you a third, I was willing to do that to get a draft pick because you can get a running back that the way the Lions use David Montgomery, you can get somebody in the 6th or 7th round. Would you consider it? Brent wants to revisit some old mistakes. Brad, why did you draft one of your best friend's son? Hooker time was a waste. Yeah, if that's what's in your mind right now, we're going to talk to Brad hopefully in like 3 weeks. What would you ask Brad Holmes at this point? I know a lot of you want to know, are you going to be aggressive in free agency with the defensive end spot? That's a given. Information more about Kirby Joseph, their draft thoughts, what his thoughts are about certain positions. Do you think that David Montgomery still is a vital part, seeing what you've seen? Now, the other discussions were, yes, the Lions were talking about Maxx Crosby, and Kay Adams doing a good job. She sees all the reports, she reads everything, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have Aidan Hutchinson and Amon-Ra St. Brown on the podcast. Oh, let me ask him the question everybody wants to know." So Aidan's talking, and he's delivering his message, and it's always the same. It was the same kind of talk when there were talks about Myles Garrett, where he's like, "Oh, I'd love it," but Aidan Hutchinson's keeping it realistic. Aidan Hutchinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown appeared on Kay Adams, and it was interesting just to hear her question what they thought about Maxx Crosby. The NFL world is buzzing from the Jay Glazer report. To recap, Jay Glazer said that he believes that Maxx Crosby has played his last snap with the Raiders and potentially could be dealt by the NFL draft or during the NFL draft. It's going to cost a team a lot, but I think the Lions should be interested. I just don't know if they're going to be willing to pony up the necessary capital. Now, I came up with a offer, a more pro-Lions offer. If you want to go check it out, Detroit Lions on SI. It's 3 draft picks going to the Raiders. Lions get Maxx Crosby and a third. So, in essence, you're net losing 2 picks. You give away 3, you get 1 back. Now, might be light on the lighter side, but it's perfect for me. Check it out. Detroit Lions on SI. This is Aidan Hutchinson speaking with Kay Adams. It's a good interview. Solid by Kay Adams. She does good work in her interview style, and she gets players to open up. And here's what Aidan Hutchinson had to say today on the matter of dreaming about Maxx Crosby. Kay Adams is like, I envision it. I envision it. Here's what Aidan Hutchinson had to say.
But I want Max to be a Lion pretty badly.
Yeah.
And I'd like him to be a Bear. But it's because of you that I want him here badly, if that makes sense. He's another, I don't know, his time in Vegas. He's a Michigan native.
Yeah, right.
Just like you. Can you just, like him, you on the field, and then him, you, Dan Campbell. There's just something.
It sounds right.
It's just right. It's like head and shoulders being right for your dandruff and scalp cooling needs.
That's right.
Can you paint me the picture of why that's the perfect fit?
I was actually looking that up on the way over here because I was hearing some rumblings about it, but I don't know.
Yeah. I'm the rumbling. Nice to meet you. Go on.
In the event that it did happen, that would be so dangerous. But and me and Max have a great relationship. I'd love to play with him.
What do you mean?
What do I think of the?
What do you mean you have a great relationship? I don't know. What's the relationship?
We see each other every now and then. We'll DM every now and then, and we both have a lot of respect for each other's games.
Okay.
And so,
have you ever worked out together?
The likelihood of him coming to Detroit is high. No. Just given with the amount of guys that they have to pay.
There's
in the
money,
building.
yeah. I'm living in a dream world. Right. I know it.
In a dream world, though, It sounds really good and it sounds right, which I'm all for.
You're all for it. What do you think? You know, it felt like a professional answer. And that's, I think, what everybody's concerned about. The original, watch the Bears pick up Maxx. Are you guys concerned that a team, maybe the Packers, might give it a whirl, but they don't have enough capital? I don't think they have enough. They gave up a lot to the Dallas Cowboys to get Micah Parsons. What do you think? Hutch is like, oh, we'd be dangerous. That's what stinks, is that you start to see the potential and you're like, oh man, maybe I'd like that. You start to see it and you're like, oh man, I'd love to see Aidan Hutchinson and Maxx Crosby play together. I think the biggest concern people are thinking is that, you know, Howie Roseman will pull the trigger. He'll do it. He'll find a way to trade a player for 2 first-rounders and then flip those 2 first-rounders for Maxx Crosby. Tomorrow morning, we'll have Christian will have a update on what the cap would look like, how, if, and when, if the Lions could even maneuver it realistically with the cap. So look for that tomorrow. Tonight, 9 o'clock after this, if you're watching Crunch Time Sports, the NFL honors. Aidan Hutchinson is up for Comeback Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. I think he might have a chance for Comeback Player of the Year, but we'll see. I think Christian McCaffrey might be the favorite. We shall see. I think the most realistic award the Lions could bring back today, Penei Sewell, Protector of the Year. 9 o'clock, I'll tune in. And I love you guys for your support of the Maxx Crosby talk. I appreciate the support that you gave the stream yesterday. It means a lot to me. And I get it. There will always be some that don't believe the reports. I get it, but I always defend myself. I just find it interesting that some sites out there will use every single quote I write and then turn around and question if a report I say is true. It's kind of weird. Why would you support the website for everything I write and then turn around? Is it because you're a Michigan fan and I'm not? But it seems hypocritical for some to come to Lions on SI every day, write similar content as Lions on SI, write similar topics as Lions on SI, and then turn around and be questioning Lions on SI. It's a little bit hypocritical. It's weird. But it happens. But I will defend anything that we put out there because I'm out here right in the public. I'm not hiding anywhere. I'm out in the open. Jason, Maxx Crosby trades are fake news. No. We're not saying he's getting traded. It's hard to execute. But think about it. No player likes losing. No player likes regime changes. No player likes being part of the Raiders anymore. Let's be real, Jason. The Raiders are downtrodden. The Lions have a lot more respect. We're just saying that, naturally, if he's a competitor, like we said about Matthew Stafford, why would you sign with the Lions if you're Matthew Stafford, if you're a competitor? Oh, Precision Staining is one of the few that has an interesting point. Edge rushers are overrated and overpriced. So you're more in line with maybe more of an affordable edge rusher, like a Kayvon Thibodeau or Highsmith from the Steelers. That's interesting. I respect your opinion. Xavier, shout out to you. Doc, of course you're awesome content. Let's say borrowed. Yeah, they borrowed. Brent, appreciate you, man. Brent, I'm a Wolverine, but still rock with the Doc. That's right. Smash the emojis. That's great to see. It makes me happy to see the emojis. Brent is a preferred member, VIP status. Austin Taylor, shout out to you on the west side. Another team in cap hell will figure it out while we watch from the sideline with our hands in our pockets yet again. Wish it wasn't so. Fingers crossed, man. The Tigers, everybody thought the Tigers weren't going to make a move. I think they overpaid for a pitcher, but it's only for 3 years, and this pitcher can get out after 2. One time, maybe if it's not Maxx Crosby, but a splash, maybe it'll be for a center. Okay. I'll ask you guys. That's an interesting debate. If the Lions are blessed to, and the fans get to have one splash, one, because 2 would be like too aggressive in the Lions land. We can't go too aggressive. We need to pay our own, according to Brad Holmes. If the Lions get one splash, just one, like a budget on Christmas, your parents are like, you can't have, NHL 25 and Madden 26. Pick one. You only get one splash. Center or defensive end? Where do the Lions splash? Where do you put the money? You get one splash. One. You get your parents sit you down and they say, listen, Doc, I know you want a Switch 2. You want WWE 2K26. You want to get the upgraded USB thing that holds all the games, because these PlayStations are allegedly a ripoff. They only have so much space. It holds like 3 games. You buy one wrestling game, one Madden 24, you update the game with all your good players, and the system's full. You got to get the side thing to connect to the PS5 so all the games can sit on. They're like, listen, you can't have all that. You get one thing, one big item, center or defensive end. I'm still going defensive end. You take your lumps with Tate Ratliff. You drafted him. If you drafted him and you can't think he can play center, or you have somebody else on the roster, the player that you added that had the injury history at the end of the year, I'm spending on defensive end. That's just me. Center or defensive end. Xavier's like, Lindebaum, pay him up. Steve, we need Crosby. Let's see if Amon-Ra's comments sway you guys' opinion. Amon-Ra St. Brown was also on. And listen, if they start playing NFL footage, I got to cut it off. I don't even know if I'm supposed to air the other one. I hope that this part with Amon-Ra has no footage of NFL.
Lions are the top of his list.
Okay.
You mentioned it's not news to anyone that anyone would want Maxx on their team. You have said it. Can you just paint the dream picture of what him and Aidan, what that would freaking look like in Detroit? Like what?
I mean, I don't know how you stop him and Aidan, each on one side. It would be so lit. I feel like I can't think of a duo like Aidan and Maxx if they were on the same team. But again, that's neither here nor there.
Don't you let him go to Chicago. Don't you let him. I don't know if you'll sweep him this next year if that happens.
If he goes to Chicago, I'll be hurt.
Have you talked to Maxx?
I have not. I have not talked to him.
He's not here, obviously. I wonder if he's just getting hit up by everybody.
He probably is.
You think?
Probably is, yeah.
You should maybe just send him some pizza.
I'll send him.
Send him a Detroit-style slice and sticks pizza.
I think I will. I'll send him that. Send him a DM.
Yeah. What would the DM say?
Maybe eye emoji, just something very slight.
Very slight. Yeah. Not let's just go. Imagine you crushing Caleb Williams' soul. Nothing like that.
What do you think? Amon-Ra St. Brown. Anakin. If we get a center, a splash. Easy does. It gets in. We were 30th in pass protection. Goff had the most sacks in his career. Yeah, offensive line's important. I get it. It's important. It's very important to consider the offensive line too. I could sway back and forth. Center or defensive end? One splash. Man. I'm intrigued by the opportunity to add a marquee player. Listen, I'll take anything at this point. I think I'll be happy. And here's just my thought as it relates to the Tigers. Tigers fans are like thrilled that they just got anybody. But I looked at it like, okay, you have a great pitching staff, but how did your offense get better? I think you have a big hole at third base. And I felt like you needed more still. Are McGonigal and Clark going to be the ones that are able to put you over the top? I'm just more. One high-priced pitcher is going to put you over the top to win a World Series. Now, I like the pitching staff, but is that the best option that you can give a Tarek Skubal? Is to add another pitcher? I think the pitching rotation looks good. I think it gives you a chance to make the playoffs, but I don't know if you have enough offense. It's the same thing. Why can't the Lions get a splash at center and defensive end? I know it's the salary cap. I know that darn salary cap, but it just feels like teams that are pushing just are able to make these moves. I'm salty. 9761. Goff had the best O-line in football and had 4 turnovers against Washington. Get a real defense. Love it. Steve Wilds with the first super chat of the Thursday broadcast. Brad is too scared to make a big move. He's weak sauce. That's the thing. I think that Steve Yzerman has called up the young kids. You've seen, and the part that is intriguing to me is Brad Holmes said he needed to evolve. What does that mean? What level of aggression is he going to have? Man. Appreciate the super chat, Steve. Your support means a lot to us. Man. I don't think he's scared. I just think that he tried with Cam Sutton. That burned the team. You also got to remember your owner might not want bigger risks as opposed to a plan to know a player is going to fit the culture. You know what I mean? I don't know. I hope the plan is to evolve to get more top 5 free agents, more proven guys that are a little bit more. One Repub 17. Shout out Doc. Keep cooking. That's right. We cook every night, 7 o'clock. Whether it be your drive home, you're chilling. Oh, shoot, I forgot to ask him. Rich, I'm going to ask him again. Hey, Doc, it's great that you don't make viewers pay to get onto your live chat. I don't think Crunch Time does that, but I'll ask them. They don't do that. You don't have to pay to get into the chat. I think you have to subscribe. You have to at least free subscribe to any channel. It'll say subscribe mode. It doesn't mean you have to pay. It means you just subscribe to their channel and you can access the live chat. But I'll double check with them. Those guys are the most user-friendly of the bunch. Welcome into the chat, Rich. Always. Right. I just think that you just got to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. And I'm certain maybe one show that they did something unusual, but you don't have to. Any YouTube show that's live that has a chat, all you got to do is subscribe free and you'll be in the mix. But if not, come back next week and I'll tell them, hey, Anakin's probably right. Doc, he's not scared. It's just from a logical perspective, it's too risky. I like it. You guys are having a debate regarding the aggressiveness, defense or offense. I'm Salty's putting in his vote. Defense. Defense wins championships, and I wonder if the Seahawks will keep the Patriots under 20. No. Uh-oh. Breaking news for the Tigers. Uh-oh. Breaking news. Not Lions related. We're going to get a laugh out of this one. I'm in the mix. I was first. Per Evan Petzold, who used to be affiliated as a young writer with Detroit Sports Podcast. Great kid, great guy, great beat writer, grew up and became a professional. I'm going to say this with a straight face. Breaking news, Detroit Lions Lone Wolves Podcast in regards to the Detroit Tigers. Javier Baez has been suspended from the 2026 World Baseball Classic for marijuana. You had to, and living in Michigan or wherever he's from. Sticky Icky. I'm going to tweet that out. Sticky Icky got Javier Baez. Javi chose the weed, allegedly. Marijuana. It's just, it gets everybody. Right? Oh, here we go. Let me just double check because, I always get sent these things and you know me, little silly. Make sure it's the real Evan Petzold. Oh, yes. Sticky Icky, allegedly. Javier, allegedly. Stay off the weed. He's probably like, I hung out with Javi. I hung out with Megatron. 420 Javi. Oh my goodness. It's like, it's different than it's a long regular season. This is your country. He's like, yo mamacita. Por favor. Marijuana. Doesn't his family say, wait a minute, aren't you playing in for your country? Mi familia, mi raza? No. Right? Now he goes up and everybody's like, oh, imagine if he was in Detroit. He's visiting Detroit. I didn't read the story. You guys can get the details. It's been, I think, published on the Free Press. Go check it out. That you can come back in and tell me the story. Javi and the D-Mac factory. Oh my goodness. There's rules, guys. There's rules. You got to follow them. But it's interesting. To recap, before we get out of here, next 10, 15 minutes, Maxx Crosby is the talk of the town. But really, in the end, it represents aggression. It represents the opportunity to be able to make the team better, make the defense better. Would you rather have a lower price defensive end, but a free agent? Joe, you'll read some stuff about Joey Bosa tomorrow. Maybe a Kayvon Thibodeau, Highsmith, somebody else that's a little bit cheaper. Because it is realistically tough to spend $45 million. But next year's Aidan's contract, it does not hit that big ceiling yet. Is it realistic to try and for 1 year, 2 years, have $75 million tied up in your defensive ends? I would do it. Rich Baldwin. I don't know if it's banned by Major League Baseball, but it looks like it's not acceptable for the World Baseball Classic. Okay, fine. I guess you guys are interested in me doing some research here. Let me read. Evan Petzold, great beat writer. I enjoyed spending time with him out at the Lions when he came out that one time to visit. Detroit Tigers shortstop. This is courtesy of Evan Petzold, the fine beat writer for the Detroit Free Press. He also recommended Christian to our fine operation. I trusted him so much that I said to, hey, does anybody have a recommendation? Evan said Christian would be great. And he was absolutely right. Detroit Tigers shortstop Javier Baez won't play for Team Puerto Rico in the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Baez is not eligible because he's serving a suspension for cannabis, according to a source. What? The 33-year-old tested positive for a substance back in March of 2023 during the 23 Baseball Classic. 2-year period of ineligibility. The situation is cut and dry. No Major League Baseball rules violated. Classic. So from a test in 2023, gun guy, haven't seen you in a long time. Where you been? They've been off. X the Trim Reaper, where's he at? I was bummed out watching the Rumble, but then I'm hearing all the reports of him going on tour in February. Where was he at? I wanted to hear Judas. I would have marked out. Do you know what happens to people who watch Detroit Lions on SI and don't like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, leave super chats? Do you? You just made the list. Good night to you. Always good checking in with you. Saki, hey, Doc, the Lions internally hired a tight end coach. What do you know? Here's what I know. Good. You helped me transition. Doc's multi-purpose. I can talk hoops, baseball, basketball, anything Detroit sports related, pop culture. I'm at that fine age where I can do all that stuff. So the Lions did not go outside the organization for their tight ends coach. They went internal. And what that means is that a guy already on the staff who was coaching the offensive line is now going to run the operation. Steve Oliver. So I'll share with you the daily visit to Detroit Lions on SI. He has a history of coaching in college at Idaho and in San Diego, I believe. And he's coached tight ends before. The one key thing that people are questioning is why didn't Seth Ryan get that spot, being that he's been promoted through and through, but it hasn't happened. So Seth Ryan got passed over. We'll see what his position, if he's going to stay on the staff or not. Wrote this 3 hours ago. It's featured on Detroit Lions on SI, which you should visit every day. See the videos. Detroit Lions have found their next tight ends coach. Steve Oliver will replace Tyler Roll. Steve Oliver originally joined the Lions as an offensive quality control coach back in 2021, prior to being in the NFL. So this year with the Lions will be his 6th NFL season, his first as a tight ends coach in the NFL. Prior to coaching, he spent the first 5 years of his coaching career in college. He's done recruiting. He's done, according to GoVandals.com, he was the director of day-to-day operations for the football program early in his coaching career at Montana State Northern. He's had experience as an offensive line coach, run game coordinator, recruiting coordinator, and he spent times coaching tight ends at Idaho in 2019 and at the University of San Diego in 2020. So Drew Petzing must have liked his philosophy. I'm sure it's going to be, and here's probably the reasoning, straightforward. The Lions and Hank Fraley probably said, if you're working along the offensive line, then blocking is going to be key, and you got to be able to consistently help the tight ends. And I think that the transition, will be smooth. Given the relationship that Drew Petzing is going to have in this room, I think it should be okay. I'm just going to be interested to see what happens with Seth Ryan. Hire from within. I think it's okay. I think it'll be okay. A coach on the staff, you just got to be able to block, and you got to be able to get the rock to Sam Laporta. McBride had over 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns last year, career year. I expect if Sam Laporta stays healthy, north of 800 yards. Yeah, if you guys have a comment, Pistons only made the one move. Will Heron become a shooter here? Will he regain his form? Aaron Fink, 2323. Pistons are for real. You think they can go beyond the second round with that lineup? They got a chance. Early report from Easy Does It on the Pistons. I love it. I love the potpourri on this Thursday. We could talk anything in the chat that you want to talk about, even outside the world of the Lions too. Let me know. We can hit on a lot of different things beyond the topics that I come up with too. It's your show. I like flowing with it, with what you guys are talking about. Wizards are beating the Pistons early on. Listen, long 48-minute game. Is marijuana banned by MLB? Well, the test from 2023 failed. Let me answer that. Is marijuana banned by MLB? In December of 2019, MLB removed cannabinoids and added cocaine, opiates to the list of drug abuse. However, players were told they could still be suspended for possessing or selling it or driving under the influence. Don't bring the weed to work. Trey Murphy. Yeah, deadline passed at 3. I would have liked to have gotten a Trey Murphy or a Markkanen or somebody else. And of course, you see New Orleans Pelicans forward dropped 44 last night. Dom Yusuf, Doc, Sam Darnold has easily surpassed Goff, especially in this modern game. It ain't even a question. Woo, Dom's bringing the heat. Man, that's a tough one. I would think, and maybe I'll bring that up tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a little bit of draft talk. I would think, and I'll ask Emmett that tomorrow if we can connect. Before I get out of here, last 5 minutes. One season, 2026, you take Goff or Darnold. Who would you take? With this roster, Goff or Darnold? Oof. That's Xavier with chat on chat crime. Dom and Salty had the same mental illness. They need to get married. Listen, it's an interesting opinion that Darnold has a little bit more athleticism. I'm not going to, Xavier, begrudge those that say Darnold because I'm torn. As we sit right now, because he's younger, I think Darnold has a little bit of a better ceiling because I think that, if you give him the right system, just that little bit more athleticism might push him over the edge, 51-49, but very close. I'm salty votes Darnold. I think Xavier votes Goff. Gun guy says Goff has the better resume. Yeah, but Darnold might be the secret elixir for the Seahawks to get over the edge. Dom Yusuf with an interesting question that maybe we'll talk about right about tomorrow at Lions on SI. Is Sam Darnold already better now than Jared Goff? Very close. I think it's, both would thrive. Would Sam Darnold this year have taken the Lions to the playoffs? A lot of you are thinking, Matthew Stafford would have. Would Stafford have made the Lions a playoff team with this team, with the injuries that they had on defense? Whew. That's hot. Leaving a Thursday show hot. I like it. Rich Baldwin, Darnold and Goff are the same. It's possible. Very possible. Xavier, give the Lions number one defense in football even this year, and how do they do? Yeah, I think they go far. But they might have fell to the Seahawks. Seahawks have a nice run game. They have a nice opportunistic defense. They made the right move with Shaheed. That's a good special teams move. One Repub is blazing one for Javi. No, it was a good show today, guys. It was real good. Everyone blaze one for Javi. Brent DeWitt, Stafford would have been in the ER behind that offensive line. Facts. That would have been tough. Darnold could at least evade some, but he might have had the turnovers fly high. That's a tough question, man. Woo. That's a tough question with all the injuries. Then Sam Laporta got hurt. That's a tough question, something to think about. But I would take, to me, I think that, one season, I would take Jared Goff. I would definitely go the route of significantly paying for a defense and try to get into a top 5, top 10 scoring. If you can't, if you realize, oh, shoot, with what now that's given that you can potentially add the talent needed, but with what the Lions have realistically, Sam Darnold might in 2026 be able to withstand a little bit of those injuries. Man, that's a good question, Dom Yusuf. Right down the middle. Goff has the experience. I think this offense suits him. But I think Sam Darnold might end up being a Super Bowl winner. We shall see. Xavier, Doc, as always, fantastic show. Hit the like button. I hope you guys enjoyed the hour. Just talking about the Lions at the Super Bowl. They got our guys in green cardigans supporting Bounty. Amon-Ra's hustling so much. He's repping 2 companies. You don't see that too often. 2 days on the row. Bounty and Little Caesars. He's like, I'm scooping up all the endorsements. 2. Do you have more hope in David Montgomery coming back? What do you think about Aidan saying the Lions would be dangerous with Maxx Crosby? It's just a dream. Center or defensive end? You get one splash. Where do you take it? Splash. Defense? Offense. Hop on over to Crunch Time. Tell them we said thank you. Doc says thank you for having me on every week. Debating, challenging me, questioning like, who are your sources? How serious should we take you, Doc? Doc, John, I don't want to say this with all due respect. How serious should we take your writing? Tell me who told you, and then we'll decide. Tell me how serious we'll take you by the level of people you're talking to. Tell us. Tell them, take Doc seriously. TDS. Touchdowns. Take Doc seriously. Early part of their show. TDS. Touchdowns. Capital TDS for Doc. TDS. Touchdowns. There you go. We got something. Take Doc seriously. Ha ha. Put that in their chat. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to enjoy football honors. Thank you for your support of Detroit Lions on SI. For the 300 people in here right now, combined with X and YouTube, hit the like button, retweet, repost, hit subscribe. Appreciate all the super chats. Appreciate the supports. Appreciate all the new members. We're nearing 100 members. TDS, baby. That's right. Look at that. What a metaphor. Touchdown. Take Doc seriously. TDS, man. Take Doc seriously. He writes it. He puts it in print for the whole world. What level of seriousness should we take you, John? I don't know. We're talking, I am prone to talk about weed. I am prone to get distracted. Oh. For fans of the company Sports Illustrated, if you go to Sports Illustrated Swimsuit on X, Kristen Harper is on one of the covers. I debated writing it, but there was so much good news to write about. I figured I'll take a year off of writing that Kristen Harper is on Sports Illustrated Swimsuit. But check it out. Rep the brand. I'm the Doc, John McAroon. I represent the Detroit Sports Podcast, which we founded. I founded in 2013 with my great cousin, Adam, the Jock Strozinski. We control the operation. It makes it fun because no one's going to throw us off the air. Unless the mistakes I made with the NFL footage, but it doesn't matter. If it's a strike one, that'll be my fault. I got to pay attention to those videos first beforehand. Those darn pesky NFL videos. And this broadcast made possible thanks to the good people at On Sports Illustrated. They platform us. They give us an opportunity to keep the lights on, have a good time. Head on over to Crunch Time, and I'll put the link in the chat. If you ever want to know where to read me, Richard, si.com/NFL/Lions. On the bottom of this video, you're seeing it. There's a little scroll. For more coverage, visit si.com/NFL/Lions/on-SI. And you can, if you're on X, go to @Detroit Podcast. We post all the links. Or if you're just on Google, you can just, write this name down and Google that name. And all the articles pop up. Or just type in Detroit Lions, 3 words, Detroit Lions SI on Google. The articles will pop up. That's where the website is. That's where the great support of all the content is every single day. And you'll find me here Monday through Friday at 7. Tomorrow we'll talk a little draft, little Q&A, all the good stuff for a Friday. But of course, a little shorter potentially. Maybe not live, but enjoy the show. It's a Friday. We want to get out of here. So everybody, drink up, smoke up. And I mean, come on, Javi, you couldn't find someone to piss for you. I mean, you made $100 million off the Tigers. You couldn't find somebody to piss for you, allegedly. I mean, for real. I feel like in 2023, still would have been easier to find a way to allegedly, reportedly get off of that. But you won't see Javi Baez in the World Baseball Classic. Why? The Sticky Icky brought down Javi Baez. Puff, puff, pass, people. See you tomorrow.